So I saw Demon Slayer The Infinity Castle 3 times. First in 4DX, then IMAX, one of those original giant auditoriums, though it ended up being dub, and then again in 4DX. And let me tell you, 4DX was the best experience for me. Not because IMAX wasn't gorgeous, because it was, but because the crowd energy in 4DX, different. People were locked in, reacting, vibing together. It made the immersion go through the roof. Quick note up front, yes, there's some recap before the new content, but honestly, it didn't feel like filler to me. It reframed things with fresh perspectives in a way, and it set the stage emotionally. Craft-wise, Ufotable cooks. The leitmotifs in the music, the staging of the action, all top tier. No surprises there. Now, pacing. I've seen people say there was too much backstory. My take, nah, it was intentional. It was emotionally necessary, and the fights hit harder because of it. If I had to give a vibes rating because experience counts, my first watch was a strong 9 out of 10. But that second and third watch, with the crowd hype and the moving seats, I would say it felt more like 11 out of 10. Really, 1,000 out of 10. I will say dub gave me some extra laughs in certain lines, but sub hit heavier in the dramatic beats. Both had value though. So yeah, if you're on the fence, go watch it, and I would recommend 4DX. I also saw it opening weekends, maybe that's why the crowd was so lively and stuff, but yeah, great experience. Alrighty, spoiler flag going up from here. So we can start with Shinobu versus Douma. I was spoiled going in, unfortunately. I already knew certain things are gonna happen, but I still tried to watch it fresh. And Douma's backstory was sharp, to the point. Demon Slayer doesn't give everyone depth, and that's okay. Obviously, that was intentional. But when they do choose to go in depth, it's purposeful. And the devastation of that fight, yeah, still landed. Kanoa witnessing it cut deep. And Shinobu, man, yeah, I definitely cried the first time watching. Her whole skill set is calm, scientific, precise. Poisons instead of brute strength. That's such a perfect thematic contrast to demons. Feral, raw, violent. It made sense to me, even if it wasn't as flashy as a brawl, but I just feel like because of their nature, it's something so soft as poison would not work. And it didn't. Then there's Zenitsu. Beautiful, right? The whole divine punishment versus bloodline curse parallel, that's definitely poetic. Unfortunately for me, the first time I watched, I had to pee, so I did leave the movie theater just to come find out that, hey, Zenitsu did a 7th form. That is crazy and that is insane. But his grandpa pretty much saying, "You are my pride and joy," that scene, yeah, definitely cried. And I feel like whatever was holding onto his feet, it was almost like a, hey, it's not your time to go yet. And that actually broke me. Just like, no, just stay there. You're going to be alive. It's just not your time yet. I actually really liked the OST during that fight. The ding. I guess that was his theme song. I even forgot that demon's name, to be honest, but I don't know what instrument that was, but it definitely slapped, okay? Now, the Infinity Castle mapping scene, the Master's Child, incredible, definitely for sure. It sold the hopelessness of the situation, but also the resolve at the same time. It was like, lock in now, cry later. Ufotable's visual analogies are definitely unmatched, making abstract stakes feel visceral in a way. Then on to Akaza versus Giyu and Tanjiro. We even got comedy beats, okay? Giyu's "my back," like him saying, "Yo, my back," you know? That line had my theater cracking up so hard. At least the 4DX ones. So the first time and my third watch. Perfect timing. But the fight itself, insane without a doubt. The choreography, Akaza's theme, pure adrenaline, yeah. Something else that I really liked was the transparent world explanation, right? Visually, it was top tier because it actually made me understood what Tanjiro was talking about. I feel like rather than tell us fully, they just made us feel it, like made us feel what it meant in a way. So like the perception, the intent, the weight of life and death in each swing, essentially. And Tanjiro announcing that was definitely funny. Yeah, my theater went absolutely insane when Akaza literally put his head back on, or at least slammed it back down. And his backstory, I came into this movie being intrigued by Akaza but not liking him. I left that movie absolutely adoring Akaza. His backstory, it tore me up. I can't lie. It was super sad. Poverty, survival, love, the poisoned well. Yeah, the aftermath. It explained everything about his willpower as a demon, honestly. It wasn't random. The fact that he tried to, like, still fight even without his head. His ferocity had roots. So then the collapse, the self-destruction, those sounds, those punches, the way it dragged out, I bawled my eyes out. Because initially when he was just like, oh yeah, I need to defeat the person that he sees as the weakest or he hates the most or whatever, I thought he was talking like Muzama, but himself, wow. And it didn't even feel like a victory. It felt like a release in a way. So in my opinion, Tanjiro and Giyu did not win that fight because I took himself out. They didn't win. And here's the thing. Some people say it was 80% backstory, 20% fighting, but tell me, I want those people who feel that way to just tell me what part would they cut out without dulling the blade of emotion. Demon Slayer has always braided action and past together, you know? Here, it doubled down on that, in my opinion, and for me, that definitely worked. But in closing, after 3 watches, I feel both satisfied and terrified for what's next, because, again, Tanjiro and Gira didn't really defeat them. There's so much more Hashiras left. I just don't have a good feeling about it. I thought maybe I'd skip 40X for the next film just to sit in the emotion, whatever emotion this next movie brings. But honestly, I'll probably do both again. The 40X for the hype, you know, and that audience experience. And then IMAX, hopefully they have it in sub for where I'm located for the heartbreak, right? Because this arc proved Demon Slayer isn't just fights, in my opinion. It's craft, it's character, and it's consequence. But that's just my take. What format did you watch it in? Sub, dub, 40X, or IMAX? How did your crowd's energy shape the experience? And which backstory hit the hardest for you? Anyways, until next time, sail safe and stay spirited.